here in Kansas. That's the current status.
Christian?
Good afternoon, Pascal. Just given the dramatic nature of the Orlando game, did you give yourself a little bit more than 24 hours to digest that one?
Well, we flew straight after the game. We didn't fly straight away, so we went back to the hotel for the regen, and we flew to Kansas early in the afternoon. So it gave us enough opportunity to let it sink in and think about this game, but. We enjoy it 24 when we win, the same as with a draw or a loss, and the full focus is now on Kansas City.
Andrew?
I had a question based on what this is Andrew with Hudson River Blue, sorry.
Hi, Andrew.
Andrea said you were tough on the team at halftime, and that it sort of your changes helped your team turn it around in the second half. I was just curious, based on now that you've had time to look back at the game, how you view the first half performance and sort of what was missing from that half compared to how you guys played when you made the comeback, and what you're trying to change from that going into this now final two games of the road trip here, starting in Kansas City.
It's a lot of questions.
Sorry.
The thing is, the first half, the quality, especially in our possession play, wasn't there. We had a spare man in the middle of the pitch where we like to have a spare man. We were not able to find him accurate enough, which concluded into having a few turnovers in these weather conditions that can break up the team. Even though we weren't playing great, we know that one of our principles was broken during the set piece when Orlando scored the goal, and we were under pressure because of the inaccuracy in the first half. So. During halftime, of course, we had our conversation going into the second half, but my main priority is to make sure that the team goes out well prepared and does better in going into the second half. But in general, I thought we were not putting up a fight, and we were playing way too soft considering what was at stake. And getting a draw at the end of the game was something that we were hoping for. But to get the win at the end was even better. So we have to learn from this second half, but we also have to learn from this first half, and especially being away at this stretch, we have to make sure that we stay competitive like we did in the second half against Orlando in order to have chances to have a better stretch in our games.
Michael Allen?
Hi, Coach. Michael Allen with First America and Blue City Radio.
Hi, Mike.
Hi. You're in the middle of this July road trip. It's your first year in MLS. You're getting a real taste of everything that MLS has to offer as far as travel goes. How do you find this affecting your plans as a coach, like your training schedule, affecting the team, going into a game against Kansas City on Saturday?
Mhm.
Does the travel factor into you more or less than over in Europe?
I would say it affects more. I can't say it affects more than I expected because it's my first experience undergoing this. On the other hand, we know it's part of the MLS, so we have to deal with it. And for that, I have to give a lot of credits to the rest of my staff, my performance staff in particular, because they've been preparing our players for these circumstances and these conditions way before we went into this sequence. So we hope to have the benefit of that and make sure that we have a big chance in performing as good as we can.
Javier?
Hey Pascal, Javier from City Boys.
Hi.
In the last broadcast, they mentioned that Keaton Parks might be out for a longer period of time, and I was curious, is the team being conservative with Keaton Parks, and what's his status?
Still the same as I mentioned last week. Unfortunately he's not available for us, and we're trying to find out as many things as we can in order to help Keaton and recover as soon as possible. But there's a lot of things that we don't know yet, so we just have to be patient with him.
Going back to you, Andrew?
Hey, Andrew Lee with Hudson River Blue again. So the MLS transfer window opens again next week. We've seen players leave, some announcement of new players coming in.
Mhm.
Is it sort of at all extra challenging for you managing at this period where there's like flux in the roster and players changing while you're kind of in the heart of the season? It's somewhat different, I know, because it's like the summer in Europe. There's not games happening when you're making moves to the roster. And how do you keep the players from maybe being sort of either distracted or getting sort of drawn into the discussion or rumors that are swirling around the team while like the transfer window is active?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, but it's also very simple. It happens all over the world when the window is open, and players get ideas either to move in or move out. It happens all over the world. I made it very clear from day one. Everybody in my dressing room is focused on what needs to be done at CFA, our training ground. So whatever issue you have going on, don't make it our problem, and make sure that you deliver the quality that we expect in every session that we are together. And so far, I have no complaints. All our players are holding up their end, and that's the way it should be. Of course, throughout the process, I have my conversations with guys who might have other ideas, but until now, as I mentioned just now, it doesn't affect our daily routines in order to perform as good as we can.
Christian?
Just turning to tomorrow's game, what are some of the unique challenges you think this Sporting Kansas City team will present your team?
I think the biggest challenge will be us coming from a midweek game, an away game. Kansas City didn't play midweek, so they had a whole week to prepare going into this game. So I think that will be the biggest challenge. However, we are ready and ready to compete. So after a good win with a good fight in the second half against Orlando, we're very confident going into this next game, and that's how things should be.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, just to follow up on that, Coach, if you could, how important was getting that midweek win in Orlando, going in, jump-starting into this Kansas City game on this road trip?
Well, for us, it was very important to get a good result in an away game, period. Against a strong opponent, Orlando at home, in these conditions, I was told it's going to be tough, and it was a very tough game. So confidence-wise, it helps you, of course, the way we got the result. But we are looking beyond that. So we want to get better at our away games, because it's been an issue in several conversations. So for us going into this Kansas City game, being an away game as well, we just want to make sure that our stretch goes further than only the game against Orlando.
Great.
Hola Robert, ¿qué tal? Bueno, creo que al final Orlando sabe jugar muy bien en casa. Sabemos que está en su clima también. Sabemos que ahora en verano es bastante húmedo, pero obviamente eso no es ninguna excusa. Pero sí, nos costó un poco el arranque, nos costó un poco también en la hora de atacar. Pienso que ya el segundo tiempo lo manejamos un poco más. El profesor en el medio tiempo pues nos dio algunas indicaciones, nos dijo que teníamos que tener más el balón, pero bueno, creo que al final hicimos caso, hicimos lo que él quería y bueno, al final creo que se dio los 3 puntos.
So
¿Me puedes hablar? I'm sorry, can I ask a follow-up?
no, let me translate first. So the question was on what was said at halftime and the changes that were made for the game. Orlando is a very good team that plays at home. Also, they were very comfortable with the weather and the climate. It was very hot and humid in the summer. But we struggled a little bit to start off the game. We struggled a little bit offensively, but at halftime, coach gave us a little bit of indication and thoughts. He mentioned that we had to keep the ball a little bit more, and we made those changes in the second half, and we were able to improve and get the result at the end. Go ahead, Roberto. Sorry about that.
I'm sorry about that. It was my bad. I forgot you got to do that. En el gol que terminas metiendo, ¿me puedes hablar de ¿Cómo fue el contragolpe para ti? Terminas evitando al defensa, pero luego también tienes a Reed por la mano derecha. Háblame de lo que estabas viendo y lo que estabas pensando en el momento para poder anotar.
Sí, bueno, al final creo que fue un contragolpe bastante bueno. Creo que ellos tiraron un mal centro y cuando yo vi que Juli agarró la pelota, bueno, creo que al final sabía que puede hacer mi gol. Entonces, me tuve esa confianza, me tuve para hacerlo de la mejor manera. Sabía que al lado tenía a Simon, pero bueno, creo que al final eso es la parte de un delantero, ¿no?
So the
Pero
question was
¿estaba
on
Simón fuera de lugar? Oh, sorry, fuck.
So the question was on the counterattack goal. Yeah, we had a really good opportunity out there in the game. It was a bad cross by Orlando. And once I saw Juli grab the ball, I knew we had an opportunity to score. So was running down the line. I had confidence as a striker that I was going to put it in. Obviously, I saw Seymour on the side, but was able to slot in the ball. Go ahead, Roberto.
I apologize, God. It's like I've never done this before. Cuando viste a Seymour, ¿él estaba en fuera de lugar o no?
Sabes, para serte más franco, la verdad que no vi ni así. Al final pensaba en hacer el gol, en, en tratar de hacerlo y bueno, creo que me enfoqué en hacerlo. Al final le pedí disculpas a Simon porque sabía que estaba a la par mía y bueno, creo que lo hice solo por repetición. Al final creo que estaba un poco exagerado.
So the question was on if he saw if Seymour Reed was onside or not. To be honest, I didn't even see Seymour on the field. I was just so focused on scoring the goal and slotting it in. So I didn't even realize that he was there until I saw highlights after the game. But I apologize to Seymour. I saw that he was open, but in those moments, I was just laser focused on just getting scoring the goal. We'll go to Andrew.
Hi, Andrew Lee with Hudson River Blue. You also had that chance in the 63rd minute against Orlando where you hit the post. I was wondering, just as a striker and as somebody who comes across chances and doesn't always score, what is your mindset like after a situation like that where you miss? How do you stay confident in the game and sort of keep playing and keep going? And does it become more satisfying when you score like a match-winning goal after a moment like that where it was like a miss that you potentially had kind of thing?
En el minuto 63, cuando fallaste el gol y pegaste el poste, como delantero, ¿cómo mantienes tu confianza para seguir atacando y seguir tratando de meter el gol? Y como metiste el gol al final para ganar el partido, ¿cómo se sintió después de haber perdido esa oportunidad hasta el final del partido?
Bueno, creo que al final uno como delantero eh, es algo bonito porque metes las más difíciles, erras las más fáciles, entonces creo que uno como delantero siempre tiene que estar ahí. Al final, pues somos quien tratamos de hacer goles, entonces por ahí es un poco más divertido, ¿no? Pero bueno, creo que al final esa para mí fue una de las una de las pelotas más fáciles que me han tocado y bueno, creo que al final fallé y bueno, creo que eso es parte de un delantero.
That's the beautiful thing of being a striker. You score the hard ones and the easy ones you miss. But you know, you have to keep going and attacking. I think it was a easy ball and I should have slotted it in, but that's just part of the game and just being a striker. So you just got to keep going for your opportunities and trying to score the ones that you can. Glenn? Glenn, you're muted.
Okay. Forgive me. Hello, Alonso. I thought it was a pretty fascinating last half hour of the game for you personally. So you have the miss. And I'm wondering, when you look over to the sideline and you see first Montsev Bakrar and then Seymour Reed, do you ever think that it's you coming out? And what did it mean to you that Pascal left you in the match when lately you've been maybe less accurate in front of goal? and then you have the opportunity to get the game winner. So I hope that's easy to translate, Esteban.
Tuviste los últimos 30 minutos del partido, fue muy interesante para ti. ¿Algún rato viste a la banca y viste que se estaba listando Alonso y Seymour? ¿Cómo se siente que la confianza que te dio Pascal, que, que te deje en el partido y últimamente que metiste el gol al final?
Sí, bueno, creo que al final es algo que tengo que agradecer al profesor Pascal. Creo que me tiene esa confianza, confía mucho en mí. Eh, y bueno, la verdad que estoy súper agradecido por todo ese trato, pero bueno, tengo que pagarle con goles, tengo que pagarle, tengo que hacerlo de la mejor manera, tengo que seguir haciendo lo que él me pide. Al final, bueno, en una parte del partido me puso a jugar de extremo porque había entrado Bakary y Seymour. Entonces, creo que es parte de lo que te pide el profesor. Entonces, creo que la verdad que muy agradecido por él que siempre confía en mí.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for Pascal for always trusting in me and having that confidence in me. Um, Ultimately, I have to pay that back with goals and performances. So as you saw in the game, I got moved to the wing after Munsef and Seymour came in, but those are coaches' decisions and I respect those. But again, really thankful for Pascal for trusting in me.
Is there any greater satisfaction when you score and you put it between the legs of the goalkeeper? I'm just curious.
Tienes más satisfacción en el gol por entre los pies del arquero.
Sabes, yo solo chuté y dije, tenía que entrar este balón y al final vi la repetición y le paso por debajo de las piernas. Entonces creo que, bueno, eso lo hace un delantero también. Al final chutas y bueno, al final quieres que entre solo el balón.
Honestly, I just shot the ball. I was just trying to get the ball in. I saw the replay later and it ended up going through the legs, but that's the thing of a striker. You just shoot to score the goal, and those things just tend to happen.
Thank you.
Christian?
Hi, Alonso. After the Orlando game, you had a moment with some fans from Costa Rica, I noticed. What does it mean to you that not only fans from New York care a lot about your career and support you, but also fans from Costa Rica seem to care about you a lot?
Después del partido de Orlando, tenemos que estar interactuando con fanáticos de Costa Rica. ¿Cómo te sientes que no solo tienes fanáticos que te apoyan del club de New York City, pero también internacionalmente costarricenses?
Sí, bueno, creo que muy feliz, la verdad. Siempre encuentro banderas de Costa Rica y bueno, la verdad que me hace mucha ilusión, me muestran mucho cariño. La verdad que los ticos siempre somos así un poco cariñosos y bueno, creo que al final no solo ticos, también la afición de Nueva York me ha dado ese cariño enorme, pero siempre estamos acá. A veces los ticos cuesta mucho verlos en los estadios. Bueno, al final creo que muy feliz, me siento muy agradecido con todos ellos.
It makes me very happy. I'm very thankful. I see a lot of Costa Rican flags throughout the stadiums, and I know they're supporting me. Us Costa Ricans, we tend to be very kind people, so we're always supporting one another. But not only the Costa Ricans, but to the loyal fans of New York City FC that also support me and show me their love. In every home game, every away game, I'm very happy for their support. Anyone else? Great. Thank you, everybody.